Navruz was left without words, too. That final touch stunned everyone watching, and yes, even Navruz went quiet when he saw it. Welcome to Turkish Spotlight Secrets. Before we dive into the heart of today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and support the channel, my friends. Hello and welcome. Today we're going behind the curtain of Carpenti, the series that roared in with promise, stirred emotions with its heart transplant storyline, and then bowed out before anyone could fully process it. We'll unpack the hidden clue tucked into the finale, the moment that turned social media upside down, and Navruz's calm, measured statement that got fans talking for days. I'll walk you through why the show ended when it did, how it suddenly shot to the top of the trending lists, and what the poster scene really said about the entire story, plus the quiet set gossip that never made it to the headlines. If you're ready, let's journey through the emotional last chapter of Carpenti together. The detail at the end captured hearts for a reason. Why did that closing scene keep everyone talking despite modest ratings? When Carpenti premiered on Star TV, it arrived carrying high expectations. The cast looked solid, the heart transplant concept promised big, aching emotion, and the tug-of-war between two families hinted at an intense, human mystery. But there was something else, Navruz and Alina Boz stepping into a pairing that immediately made the project feel alive. Their joint presence created a wave of excitement from the very first teaser. Still, after an exciting first stretch, the ratings curve bent the wrong way. The series found a loyal core of viewers, yet it had to say farewell at episode 13, squeezed in the grueling Sunday night slot between rival giants. Even so, the finale did something few expected: it exploded online. Viewers on X dissected each moment, and the poster scene, slipped in with care by the creative team, became the night's lodestar. Recreating the series poster within the final shot wasn't just a nod, it tied the story into a single, unforgettable symbol. Let's rewind. How did this pulsing drama begin and where did it lead? From the first announcement, Carpenti stood out because of its idea. The main conflict circled around a heart transplant, weaving melodrama and mystery into a tense, intimate web. At its center was Asli Guns, a young woman straddling the edge of life with an artificial heart, measuring each day like a borrowed breath. Her fate shifted when the heart of Milike, gone too soon in a tragic accident, gave her life anew. That transplant didn't just revive Asli, it interlaced the destinies of the Guns and Alkan families, stitching them together with invisible threads. The emotional axis of the series tilted again with Aris Alkan. Milike's cousin, Aris, first looked upon Asli with suspicion, unease, and flashes of anger. Slowly, as the story demanded, barriers thinned, anger cooled, and a tender curiosity deepened into something heavier. Asli Guns didn't just act as the motor of the narrative, she embodied the daily collision of fragility and will. Alina Boz gave Asli's stubbornness and softness a delicate balance, letting pain and hope coexist in the same cautious breath. Opposite her, Navruz, as Aris Alkan, carved a performance shaped by restraint and simmering storms. He didn't shout to be heard, he let pauses speak. The pull of the two families orbited around Julia Guns, Asli's mother, who stood as a complicated figure, protective yet quietly driven, terrified yet strategic, and Tulan Alkan, the mother who mourned Milike with silence that burned more than words. These women built the aching backbone of the show, their scenes swelling the drama with layers of grief, pride, and motherhood. Despite that rich foundation, the ratings didn't rise the way the team hoped. We'll talk about why in a moment. Let's look at the backdrop to the ending, the merciless math of the ratings war. Television can be unforgiving. A big budget, an ambitious crew, and a good script sometimes still aren't enough to survive in the time-slot arena. Carpenti found itself in the toughest possible lane, Sunday nights. On one side stood Tescalat, an action juggernaut with years of loyalty behind it, on the other, Imposters, a fast-moving series that hooked younger audiences quickly. Both competitors fenced off large swaths of the audience, leaving Carpenti to fight uphill every week. Social media buzz ran hot, but the ratings chart stayed cool. In some measurements, it slipped to the bottom of the EU group. Across the board, it never built the steady climb needed for long-term stability. Many viewers praised the performances but wished for a snappier pace. And the broader terrain had shifted. Younger viewers have moved to digital platforms, and TV dramas, no matter how strong, can't survive on Twitter applause alone. So what happened in the final episode? Why did one shot set the night ablaze? The moment the finale aired, the conversation lit up. The hashtag for palpitation shot up the ranks. The scene everyone seized upon was that fluid reveal where the final frame reassembled the series poster. It did two things at once. It closed the circle by ending exactly where the story's identity began, and it offered a visual thesis for the characters' fates. It wasn't a wink, it was a statement. Attentive viewers caught it instantly, and within minutes, stills began flooding timelines. Comments piled up, ending on the poster was such a refined touch. The show didn't last long, but that ending made it unforgettable. In that one picture, it felt complete. A small idea executed with precision softened the sting of an early goodbye. And then came the farewells. After the cancellation decision became official, the cast posted their goodbyes. The message that resonated most belonged to Alp Navruz. He wrote, "Appreciation always belongs to the audience. All I can say is that our team gave its whole heart to every scene." The words were modest, steady, and professional, pure Alp. Fans reposted the line endlessly, adding their own notes about the quiet pride behind it. Alina Boz said goodbye to Asli with a tender reflection about carrying the character's heartbeat, calling the journey both brutal and beautiful. Elsewhere, tributes to the crew echoed the same theme. The set was a family, the work was done with care, and the ending, while early, did not erase what had been shared on screen. So why did Palpitation finish when it did? The reasons can be distilled into a few truths. First, timing. Sunday is a battlefield, and Carpenti walked into it against seasoned opponents. Second, pacing. While many embraced the slow burn emotion, mass audiences now crave momentum, especially in an age where streaming has trained viewers to expect compact arcs and constant movement. Third, audience alignment. The show's themes resonated most powerfully with a female audience, but the slot and rivals blunted that resonance. The result, strong emotion, strong performances, but not enough weekly lift. What about behind the scenes? The set, by all accounts, was warm and lively. The energy between Alp Navruz and Alina Boz translated directly into the camera, which is part of why even people who drifted in and out of episodes still clipped their scenes for rewatch. Their balance. His quiet intensity, her lucid vulnerability, helped anchor the show's most difficult moments. Scenes involving Hülya Gündüz and Tülin Alkan also hit hard. Viewers often said they wished those two formidable presences had collided more, because each confrontation rippled through the families like a storm. In another life, perhaps the writers would have leaned harder into that duel. And then there's the matter of legacy. Not every series is built to stretch for years. Some arrive, break hearts, and leave a clear echo behind. Carpenti stands in that category. In just 13 episodes, it delivered steep emotional drops, bruised yet luminous performances, and a visual palette that kept the heartbeat of its premise front and center. That's why the final shot imprinted itself so quickly. It was the show's own mirror, held up at the end, letting everyone see what the story had been all along. Was it a shame the ratings didn't protect it? Of course. But the poster scene, the solidity of the acting, Alp Navruz's composed farewell, and the genuine affection on social media turned a short run into something that still lingers. Maybe on a different night, with fewer heavyweights across the dial and a punchier acceleration in the early weeks, we'd be talking about episode 30 instead of 13. Television, however, is a game of time and place. Carpenti chose a tough night, but it walked off with a beautiful ending. Let's return once more to the characters who kept us watching. Asli Gündüz dared to seek a future with another heart beating inside her, her courage flickering even when fear stalked her every step. Aras Alkan started from a raw, protective anger and traveled to understanding, never forgetting the pain beneath his feet. Hülya Gündüz protected with a fierceness that sometimes looked like ambition. Tulan Alkan mourned until her grief spoke louder than her voice. The Guns and Alkan families didn't just clash, they taught each other what loyalty costs. And Milike, though gone, lived everywhere, in every gesture of forgiveness and every stumble back into love. In the end, fans didn't only praise a couple, they praised a partnership. Alina Boz and Alp Navruz found a rhythm that made Asli and Eris feel like people you could reach out and touch. That is not only chemistry, it's craft. The internet keeps receipts, and the clips still circulate. A hand held too long, a half-smile that dies before it reaches the eyes, a door closed with care because slamming it would be the easy choice. Those details remind viewers why they cared, and why the conversation about the finale refuses to fade. As we wrap up, let's not forget the question buzzing through every thread: should Palpitation have lasted longer? Some argue the narrative had so much more to give, others believe its intensity is exactly what made a short run feel complete. Were you satisfied with his character's death, or did you want a different fate? Share your thoughts below, I read them all. Thank you for spending this time with Turkish Spotlight Secrets. If you enjoyed peeling back the layers of Carpenti with me, why the poster scene hit so deep, how the cast said goodbye, and what Alp Navruz and Alina Boz brought to Asli Guns and Eris Alkan, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next story. Until then, hold on to the moments that moved you, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, and take care.